Claire, it's Wednesday. Today was the day I went back to school and I went back as a year 13, which is terrifying. Year 13 is scary. It's basically the year that my future gets decided. I need to work hard this year, it's a scary year. Today was quite chilled out. We got our timetables and we found out who our teachers were going to be, what rooms we were going to be in, and whose class we were going to be in, and it was just a good day. I had music, biology and English today, so all three, although I have noticed one or two other classes on my timetable. One of them is called Current Issues, which I think is just where our head of year talks about the news and stuff. I don't really know, to be honest. I can't wait for that first lesson. I'd like to know what it's actually using up an hour of my time to do. Another 2 hours a week are spent on my AQA Baccalaureate, or my EPQ, or my Extended Project Qualification. I don't think I'm going to continue with this. It's on my timetable for now, but I don't know whether I'm going to be able to cope with all the work that you have to put in for this project, so I might end up dropping it.
And now for something completely different.
You know those thoughts that just pop into your head when you're talking to someone you may not particularly like? You're just talking to that person and then a horrible thought pops into your head and you're like, oh God, where did that come from? And you're kind of ashamed of that thought, and because it's a horrible thought, you don't vocalise it. And then I thought, am I a horrible person for thinking this thought? Or is what makes me a good person the fact that I filtered it out and didn't actually say it? And then I was sat in biology and I was thinking about this, I was mulling it over, and I was thinking, the brain and that thought filter is a bit like a glomerulus. I don't know. Because the glomerulus is just a big bundle of capillaries in the kidney. There are many, many, many of them in your kidneys, and they filter out the blood plasma for the things that you really don't need, and the things that you do need, they take them out. The things that you don't need, they get rid of and put them in the urine. It's a really weird thought, but what you say eventually, if we're using this metaphor, goes into the urine and gets put out into the world, whereas the glomerulus filters out the things you don't want to say. This metaphor is getting really weird. Oh, dropped the camera, sorry. So if we're using this really weird metaphor, if your glomerulus is not working properly, all of the things that you want to keep in your body, such as water and some salt and glucose, will be excreted out, which is not what you want at all. You want to keep those things because they are very useful. If you change that to my example of the brain filter, it's kind of the opposite, but it sort of works by the same principle, because if your brain filter's not working, all of the horrible things that you're thinking get said anyway. So it's like kidney failure of the mind. This is just getting weirder and weirder. I don't know where this metaphor is going, it just popped into my head. So, Claire, I will see you tomorrow. Bye!
That was easy.